How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. Good to see you.
Let me start by saying on camera, being serious, I apologize if the last time we spoke went off the rails because you were joking around and I don't want people to realize that you know what I mean. So I want to start with an apology and start with that on camera.
Oh, good.
And, but first of all, so let's jump into why I get to talk to you. 999 is one of these projects where like it's a murderer's row of talent. Mm-hmm. Everyone involved in this movie is so talented, such a huge cast. Mm-hmm. When they approach you for something like this, are you like, oh my God, I'm in?
I chased this movie for like 2 years. When I saw that Kate was signed on and I saw that Chiwetel was signed on, I was a huge fan, still am a huge fan of John Hillcoat. Lawless is like, when I watched that movie, I was like, that's a great movie, you know, and so when I saw Lawless, I kind of, you know, got on the bandwagon and started looking at what he was trying to do next. And, you know, as this movie evolved with the cast, I kind of got fit into one evolution of it. So it was purely the wanting to be a part of a John Hillcoat movie.
Was there an actor that you had not worked with that you were like, I cannot wait to do scenes with this person?
You know, I was really excited to work with pretty much everybody. I mean, the fun thing about this movie is we all knew each other's work and we were all avid fans of each other. Like when we showed up on set, everybody was like, oh man, I love when you did this, that, and this. And then, you know, everybody had that conversation with everybody. You know, Clifton Collins has done, what, 150,000 movies?
I would actually say 200,000.
200,000. And every time you see a movie, you're like, man, that's good. He pops up with a different hairstyle and, you know, a different facial hair, and you have no idea who he is. You know, and, you know, Aaron Paul is Aaron Paul. So, you know, Chiwetel's an Academy Award nominated actor. So it's funny, you know, looking at it, and, you know, I hadn't met Norman before, and knowing Norman's work from the time when he started on that British TV show, I can't remember the name of it, to Walking Dead, you know, he's just a really interesting, cerebral actor. And I like the idea that I was surrounded by actors.
Sure.
You know, and I think that's why the movie works so well. I think that's why the characters work so well on screen.
John has a history of getting huge actors and great performances out of actors, getting huge actors to be in his projects. What is it about him on set that draws all these actors in?
John, and you'll see, he's a unique personality. I've never met an older white Australian dude like John. I mean, he's just dope, man. And he's an actor's director. You know, there's so many things that we came to set with the actors and wanted to put into the movie for character pieces, and he allowed us to do it. And he never said no. He never said that's not going to work. He never said we can't do that today. He always found time to give us those moments to help our characters evolve. You know, I told him, I was like, well, I want to smoke Black and Miles, and I want to do this. I want to be real Atlanta. I want gold teeth on this side of my mouth. And he's like, let's do all that. You know, so he gave me this opportunity to show the relationship that my character had to the streets. You know, my character was a detective. Marcus Belmont was a detective in that neighborhood because he was from that neighborhood. That's why when the woman is up dancing on the trash can, he knows exactly who she is and what she's doing. And he can tell everybody to get her down because he knows everybody. You know, so little things like that, he really let us run with.
Is there a day or two you'll always remember from filming?
The day, I think the chase sequence where that kind of galvanizes Casey and my relationship in the movie. It was so much fun. I mean, there's nothing like, I don't know, maybe it's weird. There's nothing like running through the streets of a city with firearms shooting all day. There's nothing, and not getting arrested. There's nothing like it.
That's little kid dreams coming
right.
true. You know? It really is.
Every kid's running around the house with their Nerf gun, you know? So there's nothing like it. It's fun acting like a cop.
I definitely want to ask you, when is the first time you used cut the check?
It was, what was it? Was probably, it was right, my first movie before Captain America. My last movie before Captain America, so...
Oh, I was gonna, Adjustment? No.
It was Adjustment, it was, no, you're right, it was Adjustment Bureau. Because we were on the roof of 30 Rock, and George Nofi gave me my final speech 3 different ways. And he's like, we're just gonna shoot all 3 of them in different ways, and I'm gonna just say 1, 2, or 3. I'm like, you serious? He's like, yeah. He's like, so good luck. And he laughs at me and walks off. I'm like, what the So I learned all 3 of them, and we're on the roof of 30 Rock. It's a beautiful day, and Matt Damon and Emily Blunt are just looking at me like I was a 3-headed monster. And they're like, how are you doing this? And the last time I did it, I was like, cut the check. I earned my money. And that was our day. That was a really awfully fun day.
Have you done this now on every movie? Do you do it all the time?
I do it all the time. Whenever I earn my money, that's my stamp. Because it started off where whenever my first day on the movie, I would always tell everybody, they call me Two Take Mac. Because after the second take, I asked what's next. Like that was it, right? So, and that was my joke, and then that evolved into cut the check.
So you work very well with Clint because he shoots the rehearsal.
And when I worked with Clint, that changed my idea of what movie making was. We were shooting the boxing scene, and it's Michael Pena and myself, and we're making fun of Hilary Swank in the gym. And Clint's like, all right, just rehearse, just do some stuff. So we're making fun and we're laughing and joking, we're having a good time. And he's like, cut, all right, moving on. Nah, dude, I ain't even put the script in that shit. I need to go, He's like, no, we got it. I was like, this is amazing. I get to hang out with Morgan Freeman, and I don't have to learn my lines. Let's do it.
You're like, here's the microphone, mic drop, I'm out.
Exactly.
That's amazing. I know that you can't talk too much about Civil War, and I don't want to put you to get you in any trouble. But my question is, can you describe Robert's base camp on Civil War?
It is Robert's base camp is by far the nicest luxury hotel you've ever been to in your life. He has a kitchen, a gym. He has an outdoor eating area that's fenced in, and he still has his trailer. And then he has another trailer on this side that's attached to a trailer for his assistant, and I don't know who the other one's for. And he's just in there all day. He'll come out and he'll go back in. So the first day I met him, I was like, oh shit, it's Iron Man.
Right?
Like Iron Man's on set, dude. So he's like, hey, Anthony. Oh, what's up, Iron Man? He's like, Robert, call me Robert. I was like, all right, Robert. So I'm excited because I'm like, shit, I'm calling Robert. And he goes, we're going to have lunch in my base camp. I want you to come over and have lunch. Like, fuck. No doubt, dude. But the problem is, I geeked out, and I was like, so I can't go. So what do I knock on the fence? Like, how do I get into the base camp? So it's huge. It's like a whole parking lot. So I'm walking around the gate, and I'm looking. There's a dude at the gate, and he's looking at me, and I was like, well, maybe he don't know who I am. So what do I do? So I wait. And I can smell the food. It smells so good. Like it's just, his chef is killing the meal, right? So I wait. And finally, dude on a golf cart comes up to me. He's like, Robert's waiting for you. Let's go. So they open the pearly gates. And I get golf cart ushered into the spectacular lost city of RDJ.
That is an amazing story. It's amazing. And it completely fits with his personality.
Right.
Because the thing is, he's transcended the role to where
it's him.
It is.
It's him.
Absolutely.
It's so hilarious.
What's funny is that would literally be Tony Stark's
thing
if he was filming a movie.
It's very impressive. So he had at his trailer, he had them put grass on the concrete. He had a table and all this stuff out there. So I was like, shit, I want grass. So when I pull my camper in, like outside the door, I put tarp out. I built a little 2x4 fence, and I put like these blow up palm trees and shit outside my trailer. So everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "This is my base camp. Nobody come in my base camp." So every time somebody would come for me, they had to knock on my fence, and I'd be like, "All right, you can come in. You can come in."
So Robert's rubbing off on everyone.
Right.
That's amazing. I want to jump backwards for a second. I think Winter Soldier is easily one of the best Marvel movies they've ever made.
Yeah.
Movie's just spectacular. When you were making it, did you realize at the time this is truly an unbelievable movie? And did you have the same sort of vibe on Civil War?
I didn't recognize it. I knew it was going to be good. I knew my character was really cool. I was really excited to play the Falcon. But I didn't, those movies, the way they shoot them, you don't really know what's going on in the other scenes, so you don't know what's going on with Redford. You don't know what's going on in those scenes. So movies can be made, or they can be made to win or fail by one bad scene. So when we were shooting Winter Soldier, I never really knew how dope of a movie it was going to be until I saw the previs. And when they show you that, you realize, holy shit, this is completely different than anything anyone has done. And I agree with you. I think if you look at Iron Man 1 and Winter Soldier, they're the most complete movies in the Marvel universe, as far as acting, as far as story, and as far as not overshadowing the story with the action.
Sure. Listen, I will say that Winter Soldier, and believe me, I love this movie so much. I will say the MacGuffin at the end is a little over the top. Like that they have to go to the 3 helicarrier. Right. It's like, I get it. It's a big movie. You got to have that.
Big movie. They got to crash those.
No, you got to do something crazy. But it's the character stuff that works so well, and it's the performances.
Right.
And it's a 70s political thriller.
Exactly.
It's just such a spectacular film.
Right. And I think what's great about what the Russos have done with Cap and the whole storyline, and you'll see it again in Civil War, they've really made it a action suspense thriller. It's not so much, the story is just as important as the characters. That's what's, I think that's why 999 works so well, is because even though we have these wild, elaborate chases and these, elaborate action sequences, John Hillcoat did a great job of taking these characters and making them relatable, even though they're bad guys, good or bad, making them relatable to the audience.
Totally.
And I think that's the ultimate job of the director, is making audience feel comfortable with the characters and look at the characters and not judge them, but almost agree with them and side with them. And I think that's what the Russos do so well with all the Marvel stuff. And I think that's what John Hillcoat did perfectly with this one.
If I'm not mistaken, you played a very iconic person for Jay Roach.
Yeah.
It's my last thing. Mm-hmm. I wanted to know if you could talk about that, and was it a daunting challenge for you?
It was by far the most horrifying experience of my adult acting life. I had been talked to and offered Martin Luther King Jr. many different times in many different incarnations. And I never really saw him on the page the way I felt he was in real life. My dad, who I love and adore, whenever he talked about Martin Luther King, he described him as a bad motherfucker. And I feel like I never saw him on screen as a bad motherfucker. And this was the first time I read the page and I was like, that's him. They did a TV movie, 3-part movie. Growing up, I watched every year, called King. And the portrayal of Martin Luther King in that movie was so mind-blowing and so precise that I never wanted to challenge that or come against that or in any way, shape, or form be compared to that. So when I read this script and I saw it was the relationship between MLK and LBJ, that's something that, in high school I wrote a paper about. I felt like that relationship was very misconceived, but also very magical at the time it formed, and admirable.
Sure.
So when I talked to Jay Roach, I was, it took some convincing. He definitely, convinced me that I could be a part of this movie, because I was like, no, man, no. And he and Cranston, put me in a position where I believed I thought I could do it.
I could ask you a million questions about it, because I mean, getting to work with Cranston and Jay, and I cannot wait to see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Cranston's amazing, but we'll talk more about that when it's coming out.
It's very good.
Congratulations on everything, man.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
thank you for your time.
No doubt.